Hey, Bob, I'd like for you to tell the people your views on unions.
Okay. Coincidentally, I did a little speech to the AFL-CIO, and of course they encompass several different unions. But union membership has declined dramatically. In the 1950s, it was about 34% of all workers belonged to a union. Today, it's dropped to about 7%.
Whew.
And most of those are federal workers. But in America, the United States is arguably the most well-known country with a capitalist economy. And many citizens in a capitalist economy look at the American dream. We've heard about the American dream ever since we were little. The problem with the American dream is that it's getting harder and harder to achieve because we have a huge income disparity. In other words, the rich are getting richer in the US and the poor are getting poorer. Public policy experts say that income and wealth inequality is one of the defining challenges of this century. Income and wealth inequality in the US is much higher than almost any other industrial country in the world. Now, I don't need to give you a list of why union jobs, union workers, and unions are important. It's pretty fundamental. If you're in a union, you have a lot of protections. Your job's protected. You probably have a much higher wage, and you have benefits. So it makes sense that we should have more unions. And if you have a better wage, you're probably going to be able to afford a house or a car instead of like a lot of people do, work 2 and 3 part-time jobs just trying to make ends meet. In 1967, compensation for CEOs, chief executive officers of companies, was about 20 times greater than their workers. Guess what that figure is today?
You tell me.
Today, it's about 300 times greater than their workers. So if some guy is making $40,000 a year, the CEO is making what, 300 times, $10 million? I mean,
Wow.
It's crazy. I mean, think about that. The workers make $40,000 a year, the CEO makes $10 million. Now, I could go on for days about this particular problem, but let me give you 2 real-life examples that we all know about. The second largest company in this country, do you know what it is?
Amazon.
Amazon. 10 years ago, you didn't see Amazon vans running all over the place. Now you see them.
They're everywhere.
The big trucks, the little vans, the airplanes, Amazon. It's the second largest company in this country, and their workers are like little hamsters on the wheel, just going and going and going because they got to work hard. Their drivers sometimes have to pee in Gatorade bottles because they can't stop at a restroom and continue their route. So they have severe time constraints. Now, the worker abuses are many at Amazon, but here's what Jeff Bezos thinks. Jeff Bezos is the guy that started Amazon, and he's the second wealthiest man in the world. Bezos says he discovered what he thought was another inefficiency worth eliminating. Hourly employees who spent years working for the same company. So if you have somebody that's got any kind of longevity or tenure, get rid of them because they're going to want a raise. They're a good employee. You go to work every day for 5 years, you don't miss, you do your job, you're very good at it. What does Bezos think? You've been here too long. We need to let you go so we can hire somebody cheaper. I mean, it's crazy. Sources claims that Bezos held a theory that workers expect raises, but at the same time, they become complacent over time and don't work as hard. As of April 2022, the Staten Island, New York warehouse is currently Amazon's only unionized workplace in the United States. You may have seen that on the news or heard about it, but out of 750,000 workers, there are 5,000 unionized workers at Amazon, or about 0.5%. Very, very low rate. I need a drink. And the second column, what do you think the largest employer in the U.S. is?
Walmart.
Walmart. Walmart is not unionized either.
Nope.
They say they're not anti-union and that they're pro-associate. That's what they call their workers.
The old line.
Yeah. However, evidence suggests that the retail giant engages in union busting activities. Now, here's the kicker. The wealthiest family in the country who started Walmart, and there's 3 of them left. Well, actually, there's more, but Jim, Alice, and Rob, they were all kids of Sam Walton. Sam is gone, but their combined wealth is over $200 billion. They all rank in the top 20 of wealthiest Americans. And Walmart workers are afraid of losing their jobs because they asked for a $15 an hour raise. I mean, $15 an hour wage and benefits. I mean, it's insane. And Amazon workers were made to work like robots for $18 an hour. So here you have 2 obscene examples of wealth disparity where CEOs, the higher echelon, is making a lot of money and the poor workers are suffering. So unionization elevates all workers.
Right.
And what we must do, even if that makes wealthy people uncomfortable, we need to start doing that now.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, Bob, how can people get a hold of you if they want to help your campaign?
Well, the best way to do it is donate and support the campaign by going to HernandezForKansas.com. And there's the QR code.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.